And we are live. It's the sixth ever live stream, Startup Ideas. Good to have you here. And for the new people, I'll explain how this works. I know a lot of you, I see some familiar faces. So if you're a familiar face, put in the comment section. Put in the comment section if you're returning. But for the new people, I'll explain how this works. You shoot me a message on Instagram, DM me on Instagram at Greg Eisenberg with your startup idea or business you're working on. If it's cool and I think you deserve to be up on stage, I will send you a link on Instagram with this link. You'll come up on stage, and then we're just gonna jam. We're just gonna jam, and I'm gonna give you some ideas, and then we decide if it's a sip or a spit. A sip means this idea is dope. It's got a lot of legs to it, and and if it's a spit, sorry, you gotta go back to the drawing board. So, welcome everyone. I'll wait a minute or two as you DM me on Instagram, and we'll get this Friday jam going. We'll get this Friday jam going. I'm excited. People have been taking some of these ideas and building them. So um, this is kind of the highlight of my week. And I want that comment section to just be unstoppable, unstoppable. Because that's how I know that people are enjoying this and that they're also, it's my feedback, or else I'm kind of just like talking into the abyss. So make that comment section go gangbusters. All right. So the ideas are coming in. So I will send a few of you the link. Oh, wow. We've got 7 coming in. They're coming in hot. All right. So keep an eye on your IG because I am inviting you. Someone literally created a Instagram username called Idea for Greg Eisenberg. Like that's the username. I gotta invite you up. Just bonus points for that. Okay, I've invited 3 people up. Tiny Transitions, I just invited you up. Beautiful. Okay, while those people are coming up, I just brewed some coffee. Would love to know what other people are sipping on. And then I also have this mysterious liquid. And I know this liquid looks like urine. Does it not look like urine? But what do you think this actually is? But whoever can guess what this is can come up on stage. And I'll give you a hint. I am in Canada. I'm in the mountains in Canada. I hate when it does that. Okay. Let's see what people think. Chai, aloe juice. Aloe juice is it's a good guess, but Canada, I don't know. Tonic water. No, but it does kind of look like tonic water. Honey water, you're getting close. Canada Dry ginger ale, very, very, very good guess, but you're getting colder. You're getting colder. Nina, I see you backstage. I'll bring you up in a minute. I gotta see if people get this. It's from the trees. Hint, it is from the trees. Maple syrup water. That is correct. Water and maple syrup, fresh maple syrup from the maple trees out here. And then fresh water from the fresh water out here. So drinking it, and it's underrated. All right. We're gonna get started. Hope you're excited. Buckle up. This is gonna be an hour of just crazy ideas, us being real. I want you to get your creative juices flowing into the weekend so that you can take the weekend to map out your ideas, create a game plan, set up the system, set up the processes, and by Monday next week, hopefully have a business. All right. So without further ado, we are gonna bring Nina to the stage. And let's see what she's got for us.
Hi everyone, can everyone hear me? I'm in the bar.
I love that you're in a bar. It's perfect.
That's where I get creative, you know. All right, so
Exactly.
I talked to a bunch of people that were in a relationship, and I asked them several questions. One of them being, when do you feel the happiest with your partner? And they all told me the same thing, when we do a shared activity. So I thought, why not try to help couples to come up with date ideas, especially if they've been together for a while. And how I got inspired by something that people already do. It's kind of a physical jar you could have with like date ideas you put in the jar, but I want to make it more efficient and also simpler for couples. So the idea would be that you create an account in an app, would give you some suggestions on things to see in your city or events or things to cook at home, movies to watch, etc. You pick the one you want. Our virtual idea jar is ready, and whenever you need it, you could say, "Hey, today it's raining. What should we be doing? We have 2 hours," and then an idea could pop up, for example.
And
That's
how would
the
you charge
basic
for it?
idea.
Yeah.
I was thinking to charge more the businesses that we would promote, whether it's restaurants or
Mm.
events or things that we would get some traction on.
Yeah. So this is one of those ideas where I like the idea and I see the need, but it's a hard business to be in because the local businesses, the restaurants, I mean, restaurants are struggling right now. Local businesses are struggling right now. They're not excited to take out their credit card and pay for, you know, ads and recommendations really at this point. So if I were you and I was like, I want to make relationships more healthy, and I think that's a whole like I would pivot this idea to be less of like a consumer app, less of like, hey, come to this place, you're going to get ideas, and more about, hey, your relationship could be better. And we're scientificdating.com. And what we do is we help couples scientifically have healthier relationships. And you have to pay for it. It's a monthly fee or a yearly fee, and you get a concierge maybe, and the concierge gives you ideas in your local town, and maybe it's assisted by AI. Um, but I think there's a big business to be created around concierge, healthy dating, recommendations. Um, we think of things that you might forget, like we help you send gifts during, you know, it's National Croissant Day, and your girlfriend likes croissants, and you send like a box of croissants or something like that. So I think that's the play here. That's the only thing I do. That's the only way I would sip this idea. Otherwise, it's a big spit for me. But I do think that there's a bunch of people who'd spend money to have healthier relationships. Um, and then I think the other thing to think about is, who are you targeting? Are you targeting males? Are you targeting females? Are you targeting couples? Because the positioning needs to be extremely clear, about who you're targeting first. So that's my feedback on your idea.
Can I just say one thing, or
Yes, you can.
I actually launched already a first feature. It's called couplevision.ch. It's kind of an MVP, and it's an assessment you can take with your partner to define a vision for your relationship. And I took the concept from a book. It's an exercise that already exists, but normally you would do it on paper.
Oh, y- you're
Features,
breaking
and for
up,
some of them, if I, oh,
unfortunately.
okay, okay.
You're
So yes,
you're
it could
breaking
be
up.
maybe as you said. Okay,
But is it couplevision.ca?
.ch. Yeah,
Because it's not coming up for me. Couple Vision. Could someone put it in the chat? Does anyone see it coming up? Because it doesn't come up for me. Couples or Couple Vision.
I can join the chat. One second. Couplevision.ch. HTTPS.
Oh, .ch. Got it.
Yeah, it's Switzerland.
Cool. All right, I'm gonna share this real quick, and then we'll move on to the next person. But okay, how do you picture your future? Craft a vision for your lifestyle. Okay, this is really smart. You choose statements that outline your personal vision for an ideal relationship. Together, review and rate the importance of each statement. Unified. Yeah, this is something. This is one of those things where here's what I would do if I were you. I would create a quiz, a free quiz where it's like rate our relationship on, right, and it spits out a score, and you ask both partners to fill it out, and it spits out a score, and that score you can share on Instagram. Like you auto create Instagram stories out of it, where people easily could share it. Once you do that, then you build your top of the funnel, because that's why you had tons of, back in the day, Facebook apps. There was all these quizzes that got hundreds of millions of users, because they were doing these quizzes. Quizzes is a tried, tested way to social quizzes is a tried, tested, proven way to generate top of the funnel. Once you have that top of the funnel, the product that you built, which I think is really smart, couplevision.ch, that actually could be paid, and you can charge for that. You can charge for that, and then I think what you end up doing is I still think you build, like, you build concierge, and you build premium, and you build taste, and you build curation around, like, you charge some, I think, I don't know about a month, but maybe a lifetime, a yearly fee, a couple $100 a year. And I think that's a really good idea. So thank you for coming up. And we'll keep following. Nothing worse than tough Wi-Fi, but she had a good idea. It just needed to be a little massaged. So it is interesting when there's certain ideas that the core of it is right, but you just need to massage it, and it's just missing that huge top of the funnel growth, or thinking about it from a funnel perspective. There's so many entrepreneurs that are just not thinking about creating businesses from a funnel perspective. So it's always interesting to hear. All right, next we're going to bring up Courtney, and hopefully her Wi-Fi is better.
Hi.
Courtney, oh my God, you're coming in like perfect.
Summer glow.
Summer glow. You're ready to go. I love it. What's on your mind?
So I have been a pediatric and adult sleep coach for about 10 years. And in the space of the work I do, it's postpartum education. I'm a lactation counselor, sleep coach, and doula, right? So predominantly kids, mostly babies. There's a gap in the market, right? So there's courses and ebooks that are pretty popular. Taking Care of Babies is probably one of the most popular. And it's a course in video, right? But it's a couple $100. On the other side of the spectrum, I charge, for private coaching, which is what our main business was, depending on if it's my team or myself, a couple $100 to a couple $1,000, depending on what people want. So it's cost prohibitive. Well, there was a blue ocean opportunity in the middle to kind of take what was this side of it and then this side of it, and do something in the middle that included the coaching, because that's what the parents really need. Is like, every baby's unique and different, but if they don't ever get to talk to someone, they often can find struggle in helping their children sleep. So I built something called Sleep Steps. It's the first all-inclusive membership program that's affordable, because I want every parent to have access to quality education. So it's $47 a month. There's a native app for Android and iOS. It is an all-inclusive program. There's live coaching weekly.
Hold on, Courtney. I need to pull this up. What's the URL?
tinytransitions.com/sleep steps.
Okay, I'm gonna pull it up
for you.
Yeah, we're gonna pull it up. This is a crowd that likes a visual. That likes a visual. All right, walk me through what I'm looking at here.
Okay, so it is essentially the course and the written part, right? The video education, which is what parents need foundationally, right? In our private coaching, we do it on Zoom. I've basically broken it into modules, right? Inside of Kajabi. Okay. On the other side, people want the written program to follow, which they get, but they don't get the coaching with these courses that are out there today. They don't get access to someone like me without paying a couple $100. And I don't love that, right? Like, there is a way to make this accessible where people can get the individualized coaching, but in a group capacity, which is what I've tried to do. So when you join, you get newborn, infant, and toddler. So you can kind of pick where you are. Then you get the coaching community inside Kajabi. So if you have questions, myself and my team are, managing those. Then you get the live weekly calls where you can come in and say, hey, I've had a rough week. This might be happening with feeding or puking or, digestive issues or sleep issues or nap issues or going to vacation in Bali. And how do I handle the time change, right? The coaching is the unique part of the fact that nobody's added that aspect into the program. And what I want to do is make it all encompassing, right? So it's like the idea, which is taking care of babies, right? She's sold millions of courses, but there's a gap. There's no coaching. And if you want that, it's a couple $100. On the other side, to work with me in private coaching starts at $1,000 for 3 weeks, right? Cost prohibitive for many families. So I was effectively able to create a new type of offering. Where I'm struggling is people understanding the fact that it is so awesome at this price point, because I'm trying to do it as a membership where you come for the sleep and then you stay for the community, because you're going to have sleep regressions, you're going to have transitions, you're going to have vacation, you might introduce another kid into the mix, right? So I wanted it to be something where they got quality education, coaching, and the community at a price point that's appropriate. And at the same time, they want to stick around, right? Like the membership side of it. And I've kind of gone back and forth in my mind of, do I keep it at $47, know that it's a gangbusters idea and just have to work on maybe the reach a little bit better? Or do I turn it into something that's low ticket, high volume, or high value and volume, right? $7. You get all this a month recurring. Oh, but if you need private coaching, you can then upsell to work with one of the members of my team or myself in the private capacity. And my mission is truly to provide all of this at a price point that's appropriate, because the sleep education can be bucketed into age, right? But every baby is different. So you need an aspect of either the live Zooms or the community to allow people to get feedback, right? Because every baby's different. I just finished with a newborn that's 4 weeks old 10 minutes ago. And we were talking about building, the right intake in the day. And then, a different baby I just started with 2 days ago has severe GERD and just is a mess. You know what I mean? But like, you can't, of course, can't help that.
What's the size of the community right now? Like, how many people are in it?
Oh, only about 150, because we just launched it. And I'm just trying to figure out like where my messaging is off, that people don't see how valuable it is for what it is, because I think they're so used to what is in the market, and this doesn't exist in the market. So I'm sort of, people know taking care of babies. She sold millions of ebooks and courses, but there's no coaching, right? And then there's a lot of sleep consultants on the other side of the spectrum in a very unregulated space, which is a different story. But, you get this flood of people offering high ticket coaching. Not everybody can afford that. Or frankly, not everybody needs that. So it's a totally new space, but I'm just launched. We just got the apps live. So it's like, okay, now I'm ready to hit go. And the way I have it in my mind is that I'm going to do an ad to our audience. We've got a pretty decent size audience, and then do the ad to like a free 45-minute training that teaches foundations, and then upsell to sleep steps, right? So it's a really great, thorough training. I have a quiz that's a schedule generator. I have a quiz that's like, why won't my baby sleep through the night? All of these things feed them into the nurture funnel, but we're just starting to watch the conversion metrics of, are people converting to sleep steps? Are they converting to private coaching? Are they just booking a call? I'm just struggling. I know the value is amazing for what you're getting, but I just can't seem, which is equally frustrating because I'm usually really good at this stuff, how to help people see that the value and what you get is so worth that $47, right? And you can come for a month or you can cancel it. And is that my problem?
Let me first of all, I want to say this is going to be huge, and it's one of those things where you have to just stick with it a little bit and iterate on the funnel, but this will work. I'll just give you my quick gut reaction to your messaging landing page, and then let's just jam for a couple minutes. So to me, Okay, there's a few things that I would change on your website. One is there's too many places to click. Like how many calls to actions? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 calls to action. So we need to remove that to one call to action. So what you should do here is, if this is your landing page / sleep steps, you should remove all these. The second thing is, how do you think about what is the outcome here, right? The outcome isn't necessarily sleep training or get helps with naps or get helps with bedtime or start today. It's definitely not start today. The first two words, start today, is about you, and it's not about you. The positioning always needs to be about them. So I think what it is something like get your kid, get your 0 to 4-year-old child to sleep, or make them become legendary sleepers. Something like that, which is shorter, a bit more catchy. And this to me is, you could include this, but it's almost like you're kind of saying it over here. And this should just all be about the outcome, not necessarily the method.
Okay.
Then you have, the thing here is the $47 just to me feels like random, right? So there's a couple ways that you can make people feel like they're getting value. One is, what is the worth? Like, it doesn't say anywhere how much this is actually worth. And people spend thousands of dollars a year for 4 years to get the value that you're creating over here. But you need to write out what all the different value is. Like, for example, I think we do this on one of our memberships. So this is a membership we run called Community Empire. It's for people who want to, founders who basically want to build ACP, audience community product businesses, without any investor capital. And I think you can honestly just copy something like this.
Okay.
Like, use this as the structure. So it's like very simple one-liner. Like, here's the outcome. People want to build their internet empire, and here's the method on how. Then it doesn't necessarily need to be waitlist only, but in this example it is. And then here it's like, unlock the training, the community, the workshops, and $50,000 in deals. So it's like, then you look at how much it costs. It's $149 a month. $50,000 just in deals makes it worth it. And you get a free school account worth $99 a month, and all these things, right? So it's about anchoring there. Then I think you're missing this, which is a manifesto. You need to write down exactly like a letter, basically, that gets people excited about your point of view. You should, you talk about, the difference between good sleep and bad sleep and how it affects children's development and why you do what you do, and just talk about, I think every website today in 2024 needs to have a manifesto. What's missing from this website, which you should also have, is video. Like, where's there should be a video right over here.
If you scroll down a little bit to the bottom, I just was messing with this yesterday. The video was
here.
at the top of the page, and I was like,
Yeah.
Maybe people don't like the video, but
yeah, no, people want the video. Like, and there's apps now that you can install that, like, it'll pop up on the side over here. But think about it. People are spending 90% of their time on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok consuming video, yet our websites in 2024 are text and photos. So I think that, especially, you're so engaging and you're so well spoken and you're so passionate, that I think having a video here would do really well.
Okay.
And then just make it really honestly, less is more with these membership websites. Like, just make it so scrollable, like very simple to sort of scan, make it really scannable, very visual. Build your, I think one thing that you can also do here is you have to scroll down to see your credibility, Newsweek, Yahoo, Google, all this stuff.
Oh,
I don't want to like that's show your credibility up top
okay.
because you are credible.
Can you still hear me? I'm sorry. My daughter's friend just called on Facebook, which I really love.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, we hear you. We hear you.
So make it the last part you said, like the credibility, like my pitching and like all of that, or do you prefer more testimonials?
I mean, in an ideal world, I like video testimonials.
Okay.
So you have like 4 video testimonials. If you can get any well-known people to talk about what you're doing as like a quote, that would be super amazing too. I don't know if you
Okay.
can do that, but like, and I have a hack for this. I'll show a quick hack and then we'll have to get to the next person. But my quick hack on this is we have an agency that does design and copy for clients. And we took quotes about design and copy and stuff like that, and just quoted them. But this adds credibility. You're piggybacking off someone else's credibility.
Okay.
But you're onto something, and I'm curious to see how it plays out. Keep me posted.
Will do, man. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Please do. And thanks for coming up.
Thank you.
All right. We're going to bring on the wonderful, the dynamic, the adventurous Lindsay Norman.
I was like, who is he going to talk about? And if it's not me, he's in trouble.
Oh my God. I don't think people know how blessed they are to have Lindsay Norman, legendary designer, legendary human being, early Pinterest designer, VP of design of Hinge, the dating app, and now head of design of Mosey, which probably no one's heard of.
No, definitely not.
But that's why you're coming up here. You want a jam. You want a little feedback on what you're doing.
Yes, exactly. Yes, thanks, Greg. Cool. So yeah, for everyone who's going to listen, Greg and I are close friends, so he's heard a little bit about Mosey, but should I just give like a quick overview of where we're at? Cool. So I joined this company a few months ago. An idea I'm really excited about. It's an app that really just wants you to spend more time with your friends out and about in the world. And the premise is really that in this nomadic world and with a lot of people working remote post-COVID, our friendships are spread across the world. So we have friends in our city and we have friends in many, many other cities. And the idea is really, how might we help people see the friends that aren't in their current city more? And the mechanisms that we are working with right now are, we want to let you know when a friend of yours is visiting your city. So Mosey would notify you, Greg's in LA. They know that LA is my city and they want me to know when you're in town. They'll let me know when we have overlapping plans. So Greg just made a plan in Mexico City. Lindsay, you did the same thing for the same dates. You and Greg are going to overlap in Mexico City next month. You guys should hang. And then finally, really easy alerting you of when I'm in your city. So, hey, Lindsay's in Miami, you guys should hang. So it's a very, very simple concept. And it works great when you are someone like me and you've forced your friends to get on Mosey and put where they are. I think that the next big hurdle for us is, how should we incentivize people to get their friends on here? Because until you have, 5 friends there who have inputted all their plans, you're sort of at a standstill. So, that sort of like growth mindset of how we can get people excited to get their friends to put their plans on Mosey is a big topic of discussion right now that I'd love to kind of jam through. And I can pull up anything. I don't know if it's helpful to show some of the screens. Oh, wait, I don't hear.
Go for it.
Okay. Let's do it.
And while you're doing that, so I think what Mosey is it basically unbundles the Instagram Notes feature. So a lot of people use Instagram Notes to be like San Francisco, LA, Toronto, New
Mhm.
York, like where they are, but this
Right.
is like dedicated only to places.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And yeah, if I'll give people a little overview.
Laurent says it needs to add your plans automatically after a quick setup or people won't do it.
Okay, we originally thought that, but incorrect. So what we've learned is that people who are excited about sharing their social plans seem to really enjoy the process of adding them. It's almost like, because the reward is knowing who you will overlap with, there's almost like a built-in incentive for people to do it. We've tried to make it as quick and easy as possible. I agree that if you're someone who's traveling multiple times per month, which really is our target audience, over time, this could be tedious. But right now, that's not our biggest blocker, although, we may see that in the future.
By the
But
way,
yeah.
Vince, is it okay to share who the co-founder of this business is?
Not yet.
Okay, cool. Well,
Couple months.
all right.
So if I show you the plans feed, let's start here. Okay, this is the My Plans feed. So this is me inputting all the plans I have through the plus button. So a side benefit of this app is it makes it really easy for you to actually just track your own travel plans in a more delightful way than maybe referring to your calendar. And then the real magic happens right here. So if I input a plan to go to Italy on June 17th, what's going to happen is as soon as Mosey detects that someone else will be there, it's going to give you this nice overlapping experience, show you how many days you'll overlap with a friend, and hope that you will text that friend and just make plans to hang out. But this is the tab we drop you into in the beginning that really needs some love. So when you first get into Mosey, we need to check your contacts. And we do this. This is different than most apps because we're not having you add friends. We'll just automatically pull your contacts. And I feel like there's trade-offs of whether, like, on the one hand, that's helpful because you don't have to do a lot of manual work. On the other hand, people are a little confused in the beginning. But it's really cool because once you have a bunch of friends, it's showing you where they currently are, whether they're based in LA or visiting. And this is really the thing we need people to populate. We want them to share Mosey with their friends so they can see how valuable it is to have all their friends here and also see their plans.
Okay, so you're getting a ton of good comments on YouTube, and I want to go through it before I say my own feedback. J Mick says, how could Mosey be used for people who aren't friends yet but could vibe with?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we do have a flow when you meet someone new. That's pretty cool. If you add them to Mosey, we end up creating like a contact card for you. It'll text that new friend, and then it'll save. They can save you in their phone as a contact, but it's pulling from Mosey, so it'll save me with my Mosey profile photo, and it'll actually say where we met. So if we were in person at Coachella, it would say, you and Lindsay are now friends, met at Coachella June 21st, powered by Mosey. So there is kind of that extra feature, trying to figure out how to kind of pair that with our new travel direction, but it's a good call out.
Okay, I'm gonna lightning round this. So this edit my podcast.agency says, basically a specific type of person is going to enjoy this app. Your general business person, not super interested in having another thing. How do you think about who this is for?
Yeah, totally. It is a very specific target demographic. So we're calling it social travel, this world of social travel. And we believe that people who will be incentivized to use this are traveling 1 to 2 times per month. People who are like jet setters, bouncing around a lot.
And is that market big enough, for a free app?
Well, it's free for now. At some point it won't. We'll have to start figuring out the monetization strategy. Interestingly, we're not concerned about how big the audience is right now. I think we're excited about finding a group of people that love it and sort of expanding from there. But we recognize this is not everyone. it's a little more niche.
Right. And by the way, this is a tip for everyone. A lot of the free products that I create, underneath like the sign up button where it's like sign up for free, I always put free for now, but not forever.
Mm-hmm.
That helps get people to sign up to whatever it is you're doing. And it's just like a simple thing being like, oh, I want to get in because I don't know, in 6 months from now, Mosey could be $29.99.
Yeah.
Okay, a couple more lightning round stuff. I think this is an interesting one. Neutrino says, is it possible to meet random people instead of just your friends?
As of now, it's not. And I think it's because our philosophy is more about actually getting you to spend time in real life with the people who are close friends already. It's supposed to feel pretty intimate.
You kind of answered a little bit about this, but I want you to expand more on it if possible. I'd love to just dump my flight itinerary and Mosey AI does the work for me.
Yeah. We're hearing that a lot. It feels like the more manual or the more automatic this process can be, and easier, the better. So it's a good call out. In fact, we've actually heard the opposite as well, which is maybe I go to Mosey first to enter the plan when I'm first excited about this trip I'm going to do. We've heard that some people will save booking the flight for later, but they will decide, hey, I'm definitely going to go to Mexico next month. They'll enter it into Mosey. And then some people have even suggested they want it to push to their calendar. So it'd be like Mosey travel. And suddenly all your trips are now published to your Google Calendar. So we've heard it both directions, which is interesting.
Okay, a few more. JMix says, I just downloaded this app called Corner. That's like Google saved places. I would love the same thing for people. XYZ is an NYC and is down to hang.
Yeah. Cool. Corner. I've never heard of that.
Yeah. Well, Jordan's a operating partner at Late Checkout, so obviously he's aware of what's cool and up and coming. So not surprised. Thanks, Jordan. How are you driving downloads? It's a hard challenge. Is it just your friends now?
Right now, we haven't even really done like a super big launch. So it's like a slow rollout. You can download in the App Store, and it's just going to connect with your contacts.
Henry Lauer, love this idea. So many friends live 3 hours plus away. I think that's especially true as you get, older. Older in my mind being like in your 30s, I guess. Late 20s, 30s. People do move away, and you recognize that it's about the people, right? It's not about the places. I think that's a good slogan.
Ooh. Yeah, I like that.
I'm like a slogan machine.
Yeah. Writing that down.
Yeah. So let's see if there's any more. Would be cool. Frank says, would be cool to incorporate best locations for photos.
Best locations. Oh, to take photos?
Frank, what do you mean by that? I think it's a good question. Is it clicking on, is it for discovery? Oh, JMix. It's about the people, not the places. Bars. Yeah. Yeah. Frank says yes. To take photos.
To take photos. Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. What are my thoughts on this?
Yeah.
I have to preface it. I have to be honest with you.
Be honest.
I'll be honest. I think this is going to be painful to create, but I think that if you get to the other side of it, it's you're a superhero. And I think that's the only way to do consumer social, right? Like it's either going to be really big or it's going to not be really big. There's no middle in consumer social.
What do you think's the most painful? What are the couple biggest obstacles you think we'll have to get over?
I think that what's missing here is when you think of the last few social apps that have hit critical mass, a lot of them had some sort of day and time component to it. and you have day and time in the sense that you post your plans, but there isn't something like what is the Be Real version of this? What is something that you could put in every day that brings people back?
Yeah.
I think that there's a big I've talked about this before, but there's like the shift around apps having opening hours and closing hours is really interesting to me. And I wonder what that is for you with Mosey.
Right.
To me, I also wonder, is there with Islands, my last app, which was like it was like a Discord competitor. One of the things that we added, which just made our growth go vertical, was so it was essentially, think of Discord for college campuses, and we would only go live at a college campus when we hit 5% penetration. So we would do a lot of marketing on school campuses to generate a lot of buzz, get people to sign into the wait list. And then we had an app screen that, we would say, in order to keep University of Alabama secure and safe, invite 3 friends. And people would invite their friends.
Would you force that? Or you just suggest it?
It would be a skippable event, but 80% of people plus would do it because they were like, oh, I want to keep this safe.
Yeah,
that's
cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
So
right.
I wonder if there's something like that here, which is like, in order to unlock features or is there a critical mass component?
Yeah. I like it. Because the magic happens when you have about 5 friends. We really need to get you to that point. So those are all good ideas.
Yeah. So it's like, if it's 5 friends, what is the feature to get you to that unlocks at 5 friends? And then what is the daily or weekly, hey, I forgot about Mosey, but I'm going to like come back in, Be Real style. And I know people are going to be like, well, Be Real is like, it's got, fallen off the cliff. It went from, I don't know, 50 million active users to 40 or whatever. And it's like, yeah, true. But that's because for a bunch of other reasons. I think the core mechanics of Be Real work. And I think something like that could work for here.
Right. I like it.
You do have some comments, Ryan, and then we'll have to hit someone else. Ryan Aldridge definitely feels like for the 1%, and that's okay. Maybe lean into it. I think that's
yeah. I feel that.
Yeah. So I feel that too. Anything else? Laurent Perrier he feels a bit bearish on the idea based on his comments. How many people have multiple friends who travel all the time but whom they don't talk to regular channels but still want to meet up on vacation? A lot of the 1%. Right? Yeah. And Americans too do this a lot, I've noticed.
And people who aren't, I think, like nomadic, like people who are hopping cities quite a bit. It's really catered towards them. But yeah, that's all good feedback. Thanks so much for the time, Greg, and the jam and the comments. Thanks, guys. I really
Last one. I got Kevin New York. Let's say this becomes a thing. What happens if Incest Snapchat add this feature?
Of travel plans?
Yeah.
Then we're fucked.
We appreciate your honesty. No, I think, if that happens, that could happen to any app, right? It's just about staying ahead of the curve and being the thing for people.
Right.
Oh my God, you look at this. My favorite comment. You're so fun, Linz.
Thanks.
And people thought YouTube comments were mean when you have Ryan Stephen Aldridge being like, you're so fun.
I love that.
Yeah.
I'm fired up for the day. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ryan.
No worries. All right. Thanks for coming on. And
thanks, guys.
We'll see you later.
Appreciate it. Bye.
Lindsay, that was awesome. All right. We got 2 more on deck. We've got Matthew and Stefan or Stefan. Whatever works. I see him in the back. Yeah, okay. I got you. All right, we're gonna go with, how do I pronounce this? Stefan or Stefan?
It's Stefan.
Stefan, perfect. And welcome to the stage.
My fellow Canadian, how's it going?
Oh, where are you located?
Regina, Saskatchewan.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing.
So,
What's on your mind?
what's on my mind? Oh, I've been watching your lately for the past 2 weeks. I found your YouTube and been plowing down on your content, and just blows my mind. Of you get people's minds going on business ideas, and I was biting on one of your business ideas with, I forget what his name is, but you were talking about AI companions.
Yeah, AI companions. Kevin Rose, I think.
Yeah, Kevin
Yeah.
Rose. Yeah, so I was going through that, and I'm like, how can you use that? Well, I have many different ideas for the AI companion, but an AI avatar companion for um, children with disabilities, like learning disabilities.
Wow.
Right? You create like you copy, say, Candy AI's
Yes.
interface, and use it where the kids can create their own avatar for themselves or with the help of their parent, and for them to grow with,
Yes.
you know. And you could so they do that, and it's structured for kids with dyslexia um, to all the other disabilities that are out there that we can do. And it's structured. You can use it with the teacher to structure for these kids their type of learning, because you know how that the industry with teachers now is they're bombarded with like 30 kids in a classroom, and there's some kids that need like special attention, you know, and they need more focus and stuff like that. So they could have an avatar app that helps them when they can help them, and get them more focused on school or whatever they needs that they need. And
This
you
is
can
this is so good, man. This is the sip of the day, I think. I think a lot of people are okay, so the Kevin Rose how that idea came to be is I live in Miami, and most of the time, and um I met this guy who was spending $10,000 a month
yes,
on
right,
these
yeah,
AI girlfriends, which is insane. So Candy AI is one of them, but he would basically have all these AI girlfriends, and some of them are paid, and you have to for upgrades and messaging. And I think a lot of people are creating AI companions in the girlfriend, boyfriend
yeah.
space, but that's very to me, it's less interesting. To me, what's really more interesting is something like this. This is like going to not only, I think, going to be very valuable as a business, but it's also going to help people. Um, I think that if you can make the avatar and the whole experience feel like a game, like you're getting almost like a real friend.
Yeah.
Um, and it's not just about focus and teaching you about focus. It's also about just, you know, teaching you as a child to live a great life. And so I think that there's something here. We had last time on the live stream someone who was building something in the dementia space, and we talked a little bit about how AI could help in the dementia space. And I think that, for everyone listening, just all these medical disabilities, there's so many ways where we can build companions to make the lives of these people just better. And
Hmm.
people would pay for it, and insurance companies would pay for it, and hospitals would pay for it, and so I love this idea on 100 levels, and the comment section is literally loving you too. Henry Lauer says, "Goddamn, Stefan, I am in. I have an autistic son who needs this."
Yeah, I'm a support worker, and it's really it's tough for parents, let alone
Right.
support workers, but parents, wow, like it's really tough. So I think this would be really really good for everybody. Like you can,
Yes.
like you said, it's not even just about learning; it's about how to get these kids to develop like compassion, to learning how to control their anger, to uh, learning focus, not just focus, but daily tasks and goals and stuff like that. You know, so it's just
Mhm.
how do you start? I'm a sport worker. I have no idea where to start, how to go about doing this. I want to do it. Definitely want to do it because you guys got me going.
Well, I think if I'm you, I think, you know, what I call someone like you when starting a business is a nerd in residence. You're a nerd in residence because you understand the problem space really well. And you've got a point of view that is needed. But if I were you, I'd probably want to build this with someone, with someone else. So think, you know, if I'm you, I need a product / technical co-founder. And everyone in the chat, feel free to message Stefan. Where's best? Where could they find you?
I'm on Instagram at cyberjet03.
Yep.
Or S Tyndale, my first name S Tyndale TYNDALE 03 at gmail.com.
Yeah. So hit him up because, you know, I think I'd feel more comfortable if I were you, if I had a partner on this where you can be like, hey, I understand the space and you're going to help sort of build the product. And I'm gonna iterate on the technical piece of it. And when I say technical, I mean like the experience and making sure that it's high quality for the children. And they're going to iterate on the software technical piece of it, make sure that the actual product is working, secure, that sort of thing.
My thoughts were to hire a psychologist, a child psychologist to get like
Yes.
programs and stuff down. I figured out like a team that I would need a team, but the cost and how to go about it, just not just as a team, but how about getting funding and all that other stuff.
Well, one step at a time. I also think Edit My Podcast Agency has a good point. Like, I would also, even if while you're finding the right person to work with, there's these, 100-day of no codes course on AppSumo. I've never read this course or anything, but there are things where you could learn how to develop things in a no code way that it might just help you just, showing even it's better to have something to show to a potential co-founder than nothing,
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's really smart. Also Indie Hacker, which is like a website for people who are just solo business people. They have a co-founder forum, so you should just post your idea there and see if anyone bites, and just start having these conversations.
Okay.
Yeah, and learn. Like you have two goals. One is to learn how to be a no-code developer, learn how to learn this whole tech world that is new to you, and just do that as if a couple hours a day, 1 hour a day. I don't know how much time you have, but just learn, reading and applying your work. And then the second thing is finding interesting people to have conversations with and be like, here's my idea. And that's where you're kind of a salesperson because you have to sell them on the idea of working with you.
Yeah.
And that's it. I love the idea. It's a sip. There's actually one other thing I want to say. Sharad Lewis Charles says Replitz has a good course and Startup School has a great co-founder software. So check those places out, everyone. And thank you for coming up, Stefan.
All right. Thanks. Peace. Have a good one.
Peace. Take care. Boom. All right. We got one last one for the day. Last but not least, I should say. Matthew, welcome to the stage.
Hey, Greg. Hey, everyone. Really cool idea, Stefan. Thanks for sharing. So my idea is basically that, I work in an art gallery. So this is an art space startup idea. The pain point for artists is that they have a stockroom basically full of art. Most of the value of the art world is in stockrooms. So millions of dollars, just sitting there. What galleries do, like my one, is they basically come in, they pick a few artworks, 7, 8 max for a show. And they don't really work that hard, I see, to sort of sell the work, and definitely not on a large scale. Their client lists are quite narrow. A lot of the smaller ones where a lot of this sort of art is being moved. Basically, that's a problem. I feel like artists are getting kind of hard done by. I see it. My friends are artists. There's sort of a bit of a gap and some value, sitting there. What I would suggest as a solution, and really keen to hear your feedback and anyone else who has ideas, is to basically allow artists to create, affiliate links that anyone could then go and sell their art. Drive the traffic back to their page, and take a commission, a small commission. Big or small, I guess they can pick if they want to sort of incentivize it. And this would really take advantage of all this kind of current access to tools that we have, marketing tools, everybody's social media networks. If you see a really cool artwork that you like, there's a high chance your friends would like it if you just kind of share it on your socials. Maybe you'll get
How doesn't this exist already?
I don't know. Yeah.
Like this doesn't make any sense because the what you're talking about exists on every other category.
It's kind of why I thought about it for art. So yeah, it's really strange. A lot of the things in the art world, they're kind of guarded by this culture. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I just think there's heaps of art sitting there. So I was wondering, is there an ACP play that you feel could really kind of like bolster something like this? And yeah, if you want to kind of jam on it.
Well, I have a question on the galleries. So if, like, let's just say myself, like, let's say I find a piece of art that's stored in the back room that I like, that I want to post to my followers. I get a link that I could share with and I get a cut, and then are we splitting? We're basically splitting it, or what do you see the business model being?
Right. So basically, how the art world works currently is, if they're going through a gallery, the gallery would take maybe 50%
Okay.
of the artwork sale price. If it's a $10,000 piece, they get $5,000 just for sort of supplying it to their small list. The other side of it is agents. So what that would be is basically an artist would approach someone who sort of has connections, and then they would take maybe 30%, between 10 and 30%, depending on who they are, of that artwork price when it sells. So this sort of software, I guess you could put it lower if you get enough people, using the software, as in if you had enough people sort of, in the system. But you could start it at 10%, and that would still be really great for artists and anyone selling it. If you sort of gain some skills at this, I think you could really, move some
Cool.
art.
On the ACP, this is how I'd start it ACP wise, and
Mhm.
for those of you who don't know, ACP, audience community product. It's the funnel I use in all my businesses. Start with the audience, convert to a community, and then build a product.
Mhm.
For the A, for audience, to me, I think that there's an opportunity, and I'd probably start on Twitter, because Instagram is the art. That's where artists go. It's the number one platform for artists. I'd go on Twitter and I would actually just write the stories of expensive artwork that has sold and to who. The stories about buying expensive artwork and to who. And I think sometimes you'll see, Sotheby's or Christie's or whatever. Sorry, Christie's. You see, oh, this Picasso just sold for $8.3 million to so and so, but it's written in like a press release format, and it's not really written for the internet. And I just think that there's so many interesting stories behind why people buy things, who they are, what the art piece is, and that's the format. And I would write those stories daily. And then what are you going to do? You're gonna build, and maybe maybe you grab the account, the art guy, or something like that, or
Right.
something like that, and then you basically build up this audience, and then now you have an audience of people into art, right? Because the only reason they're following you is they're into art. So then you can go to galleries and be like, hey, I'm not just Matthew underscore Rami underscore, not that at all. I'm Matthew, but I do run this account. It's got 100,000 followers. I generate between 5 and 10 million impressions a month. And by the way, I would also go on LinkedIn. No one is talking about art on LinkedIn.
Right.
But how many active users does LinkedIn have?
Currently, I'm not sure, but it's in the million.
900 million.
Yeah.
And that's why people, it kind of grinds my gears a little bit when people are like, "Oh, LinkedIn is so cringe." It's like, are you saying 900 million people are cringe? No, of course not. There's tons of opportunity on LinkedIn. So I do those stories on both those platforms, build those audiences, and then start building the platform. I think this is a low risk idea. It
Right.
works in other spaces. The technical aspect of building it is relatively straightforward. And to me, it's a sip. So if I'm you, if I'm Matthew _Rami_, first thing I'm doing is I'm coming up with a name and that's catchy, and a handle that's catchy on Twitter. And then once you feel confident in the format, then I start bringing it to LinkedIn and
Okay.
just see where it goes.
Cool. Thanks,
Yeah.
Greg. Yeah, good advice on the LinkedIn and Twitter. So thank you.
Of course. Good luck. See you soon. And there you have it, everyone. Another hour has gone by. That was super fun. Did you enjoy that? I mean, I enjoyed that. I hope people got value out of it. But let me know if you enjoyed that. I will do more of these. And my hope is that, like I said, I hope that your creative juices are flowing. You might not want to start an art business tomorrow, but you might be like, hey, maybe there's an idea for an affiliate platform for a completely other space that no one's thinking of. And that's what this is about. I saw a tweet today saying, idea people, I'm going to pull it up actually. I think it was something like idea people, like don't spend time with idea people, something like that. And, that's not true. Ideas are really important and ideas help you clarify what you want to actually be building. And ideas are arbitrage. If you if Matthew, for example, knows to go build on LinkedIn in this particular format, he's going to outcompete other people's. So, anyways, this has been cool. I'm looking at the comments. People liked it. Super awesome. It's been real. I'm going to end the show. Thank you everyone for joining. A little ask for me. How about, I don't know, share this with friends. Subscribe to the YouTube, the Startup Ideas podcast on Apple Podcast and Spotify. Go follow that and subscribe, rate it. Tell everyone you know about Startup Ideas podcast. Share this with the world and have an incredible weekend. Take care, everyone. Oh yeah, like this video so others can see it. Literally. That's like the easiest thing to do. Like it so others can see it. Later.